Hi Ed. So I'm I'm showing you the door, and I would like your honest opinion
Okay.
of the quality of the work that was done.
Right. For the
Okay,
record, I've never been on this boat before, and
and
I haven't. I don't even know what he's going to show me.
right, I haven't even explained to you the situation yet.
Right. What do we
It's
got?
a little smelly. I think the holding tank is full or something.
Okay.
But so this sliding door here,
Mm-hmm.
when I first got the boat, it worked fine.
Mm-hmm.
And like a day after I got to Maryland, I went to close the door and it wouldn't close.
It's just stuck.
It was like 6 inches. It
Oh,
wouldn't go past
it
that.
traveled, but it didn't travel all the way.
Right.
Okay.
And so I tried to figure it out. I thought maybe a screw was popped up in the track,
Right.
and I saw a bunch of screws, but they were all corroded and stripped.
Okay.
So I had to drill them out. To make a long story short,
Mm-hmm.
oh, and each section of the frame
Mm-hmm.
was welded to each other.
What do you mean by welded? Because you got
So-
wood and metal. You don't have.
Well, this is not how it was.
Okay.
So there was the bottom piece was connected to the side piece, which was connected to this piece, which was
I
connected to that
understand.
piece.
So when you say welded, you're taking each piece of the metal as a frame was structured together and welded.
Right. So in other words, I couldn't just remove one section of it without removing the whole thing.
I got you.
And so that's what I did. I removed the whole thing.
Yeah, right. And it looks to me,
Well-
this is the first time I'm seeing it, but it looks to me like the old track was here because I see screw holes.
I honestly don't 100% remember,
I mean, it looks like
But-
these are screw holes, and this was all right. But anyway, go ahead.
but it's not important that it's exactly the way it was. As a
Right.
matter of fact, I would prefer that it's not exactly the way
Yeah,
it
because
was because it was
wasn't
screwed
working.
up.
Right.
So what was I saying? So I removed everything, and there was also a frame around the plexiglass too.
Okay.
So this frame went in
And
to
fit
that
into
frame,
the metal frame. Right.
and that's how it locked.
Okay.
But I had to take that off also.
Okay.
So all I had left
It's
was
the glass.
the plexiglass itself and the space where the frame went.
Mhm.
And I tried to install, rebuild it myself, and I got stuck. So
Right.
I asked the service center here at the marina, Liberty Marine Service, if they could rebuild my door for me. And the guy said, his name is Meldon, he said, "Yes, I absolutely can. I've done it before, and I know how it's supposed to go."
Okay.
So I said, "Perfect." So so here's what he did. He put a piece of wood under here as a spacer because this needed to be up a little bit.
Okay.
Now this wood here is not teak. You can feel it. You can dig your nails into it. It's like,
No, and it should be something that is weather resistant.
yeah.
All right.
So that's one issue that I have. This track he put down, it goes all the way across.
Right.
I believe this part of it is fine.
I mean, it looks fine.
And he connected the sliding piece of plexiglass to a bracket that fits into this track, which I also think is fine.
Yeah, and it looks like it's working.
Now here's one of the issues I have.
Okay.
Uh,
You want me to
sorry.
come out? Or
Yeah,
stay?
yeah, come out.
All right, okay.
Try to close the door.
Yeah, that's right. So what I gather is the track is binding. It's not square. It's doing this.
It is binding, but
It's doing this.
not in the way that you think. The reason why it's binding, I figured out, and here there's a workaround for it too. If you can you hold
I mean,
this?
to me, it looks like it's going in right here.
It's actually not the
It's
bottom.
not-
That's
it's
the
not
problem. It's
straight.
the top. So if you press the left side of the door that way and slide it, it's perfectly smooth.
Huh.
But I have to
Why
keep,
is that?
because this metal here is rubbing on this metal.
So you're actually making it wider by pressing on it.
I'm making it so it's
You need to
pressing
shim
less
this
on
out.
it.
That's all. You just needs to shim this out.
Well, no matter what, it's still going to be not right. So
Well, I think a shim will do it though. Hold on a second.
I mean, if you pull this out more,
That's what I'm saying. You shim that out because right now.
then the whole plexiglass is going to go that way, and we're going to be in the same situation. That's what I'm saying.
Not your head.
So I tried to explain to people how to close the door, and they don't understand what I'm saying. And then the next time they close the door, they forgot what to do, and I have to explain it again. It's a real pain in the ass.
I see exactly what's wrong. No, a shim will fix it. You shim that corner out. It's going away. That's the problem. Either way, he's got to fix it.
Well, okay, so here's what I found out, what I researched. Can you grab me my flashlight? It's behind that seat.
Very cool. What do you want me to do?
So here's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
This track here is supposed to be like this, turned a 90-degree angle, so the opening is up. So the gravity pulls the thing that slides into the track, as opposed to right now it's pulling it to the side of the track.
Yeah, I understand.
So that's why it's rubbing.
It won't work like that though.
Well, that's how it's designed to go.
But it won't work like that unless you change this.
Right. This has to be totally changed. So this is the wrong part. The way this is supposed to go is, see this plastic thing that slides into here?
Right.
This is supposed to be screwed directly into the plexiglass with no metal thing at all.
I understand.
It's just supposed to...
If this were turned up, this would be in the way of this. And then, you follow me? Then this would have to be installed differently.
Yes.
So it's standing up.
Right,
And this
exactly.
would be the wrong part, which is what you said. I think you could just fix it by shimming this. You shim this out, and everything will work like new.
I don't think so.
Try it. I mean, he has to fix it.
Okay, so there's more.
And there's more. So go ahead.
So see this piece of wood?
Yeah.
It goes halfway across.
Oh, yeah.
It's supposed to go the rest of the way across. You see how it's cracked?
I do.
The reason why it's cracked is because he's using C-channel right here, and the screws are inside the C-channel, too close to the edge of the wood, and so it's split. Now I bought F-channel. It's right there to replace this, so the screws would go next to where the glass is instead of behind it. So that's...
I don't know how far down that crack goes. It's something that you're going to have to take apart and look at.
Right.
But this is stationary. This doesn't move.
Right.
Right? This moves. And look at that. If you're pulling on the glass and holding it, it slides. If you're pulling it here. But if you're pulling it on the handle, it definitely binds.
Right,
and it's because you're pushing it in. You're not pulling this. You're pulling this, and it changes the geometry of the slide.
Right. When I first got the handle, that's when I first noticed the problem.
Yeah.
And it's because before I used to push on the plexiglass as I was closing it. Now I pull on it instead.
Correct. And it just racks it, and it's not. It's jamming. Yeah. Yeah. I don't understand how he could have given you the boat back and not tested it. I mean, that's what the handle's for.
Well, I put the handle on.
Ah. So he never tested it with the handle.
Right.
That makes sense. Okay. So, but you need the handle.
He's blaming me. He says it's working improperly because I put the wrong handle on, but that has nothing to do with it. No matter what handle you put on there, you're still
doesn't
going to pull.
matter, right? Yeah. It's this needs This needs to be shimmed, and yeah, and it's definitely either way. It should work.
Actually, it is shimmed. It's shimmed by 1/2 inch.
No, behind here. Between this and this, it should be shimmed.
And so that'll move it another 1/8 of an inch, but it's already
probably
moved
all
a
you
1/2
need.
inch.
I would have him fix it. I would have him fix it.
Well, he doesn't want to fix it.
Because handle or not, it should, you should have a handle on it.
Right. Okay. So here's another thing. See this piece of wood here? It only goes halfway across.
Right.
It's supposed to go the rest of the way across. So now you have a choice: either to step on the aluminum and risk bending it, or to step over it and risk tripping. Whereas if the wood went all the way across, you would just step on the wood.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that. Up here, I'm not so sure what the value would be, but down here, I agree with you on that.
Well, the value here would be you need something to screw this C-channel in once you rotate it.
If you don't rotate it, you shim it, you don't need it. But that's here or there. Down here, you definitely need it. Up here, if you rotate it, you definitely need it.
Okay.
If you want my honest opinion, I'm giving it to you.
Okay.
Right?
Now, this is also C channel and should be F channel. Same reason.
Mm-hmm.
And here's another interesting thing. This wood, does it look new to you?
No.
It came from somebody else's boat.
Yeah, I'm sure it did.
You can see the
Yeah, I'm sure it did.
the what do you call it?
Yeah, I'm sure it did. Yeah. Did he charge you for new wood?
$300.
For that piece of wood?
That piece and this piece.
Yeah, that's not $300 worth of wood.
It's $30 worth of wood if it was new.
No, it's not even $30. Yeah, right. $300? It should come with hookers.
Now look at this. I know why they only went halfway across.
You get a pin here.
Yeah. I know why they only went halfway across. It's because they couldn't find teak that's long enough.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But look what I got.
Oh wow, where'd you find that?
Right down the street.
Well,
it's not teak, it's ipe.
You can have him put it in.
He doesn't want to put it in.
Why not?
Because he's saying I owe him $3,300 for the installation of this door.
How can that cost $3,300?
He's claiming it was 15 hours of labor and $800 in parts.
Where? You take him to court.
Well, 300.
No, you're done. We shouldn't even started this. There's not $3,300 worth of parts and materials and labor in fixing that. There's about 2 or 3 hours. And for a person who says that they know how to do it, already did it, that's not $3,300 worth of work. I go to Home Depot and buy those parts and have it put together in a couple minutes. I'm exaggerating when I say a couple minutes. But, I'm sorry, a whole entire day's labor, which that is not, at $50 an hour is $400.
Well,
at $100
an hour.
At $100, it's $800. $3,300. How many days did he work on it? 15. Let's say 15. That's still $1,500. There's not $1,800 worth of materials involved in fixing that. So his price is not reasonable, period. And no judge would ever believe that that's a $3,300 door repair. Now, that definitely should come with hookers.
Now I have to redo it completely so that I can use the F channel instead of the C channel and use wood that goes all the way across instead of halfway across. The only piece that is still good is the very bottom.
I'll do the fucking job for you. I'm sorry, but go ahead.
The only piece that's still good is the bottom section.
Right.
But that has to come out too because you put the wrong wood under it. It's regular soft wood.
Right. Right. I'm going to say that I would go to court and I would ask the court to make an adjustment to the price for the work that he did, because he did do some work. You know, you're not looking for something for nothing.
I originally offered to reduce the price by $1,500, and he said absolutely not. It's final, and he's still to this day sticking to that. But then I realized that the wood is cracked, and it's rotated wrong.
You need to just to start taking pictures, document, and go to court, because you're not going to be able to settle it between the two of you. And I'm looking at the job, and I am not a carpenter, but I've done carpentry. I've built houses and things, and I've done renovations, so I understand how to put things together. I'm a mechanic. I can do these things.
You know what's interesting?
I would never charge someone 15 hours to do this job. That's ridiculous. And yeah, I fix pretty much everything. And for a person who says he's done it before, to charge 15 hours to do this is actually insulting. He should quit his job.
I agree.
He should definitely quit his job, because he has no business picking up a tool if it takes him 15 hours to fix that.
Right. And you know what's funny? The guy that actually did the work agrees with me. But the manager is the one who's in charge of invoices. and he's never even seen the door.
So the guy who actually so the mechanic who put this together said that the price is wrong.
Specifically, the price of the materials.
Who engineered this?
The Melvin.
Okay,
The guy
and
did the
Melvin did Melvin spend 15 hours doing it?
Well, here's the thing. They contradict them. They contradicted themselves because I saw Melvin work on this door for 4 hours, and the manager Randy said I witnessed 90% of the work that he did, which means he put like 5 hours in.
Right. So we're gonna do a timeout. You get taken to court, and she's gonna do her thing.
Okay.
No.
Thank you, Ed, for your opinion. I appreciate it.
No.
I want to see your thing.
Oh, wait, one more little thing before I
we're done.
hit stop.
Seriously, not a problem.
Right.
Randy, the manager, also admitted. So they have a system. They like punch into a job and then punch out of a job.
Yeah, sure.
So
Time clock,
he
yeah.
admitted that Melvin was working on other jobs while he was punched into my job.
There you go. So that's,
The end.
That's you're done.